Hi, besties! My name is Tricia Heals. I'm your psychic bestie, and you're listening to your Psychic Bestie Hotline. I know I say this at the start of every episode, but I am truly so excited and grateful to have you all here. Today's episode will be really healing and just a lot of topics that I'm exploring this past week. So, thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here and tuning in. We all have the power to have psychic gifts and abilities. I think everyone has these gifts. It's just about unlocking them and seeing the magic. So, even by tuning into this episode, your life will start to get more magical. I always put the twinkle, and it's called magical twinkle delay. But there's no delays. Our angels are saying it's all right in front of us. The magic is right in front of our eyes. If we are ready for it, the universe will provide. So, everyone, at the beginning of this episode, tell the universe, show me how good it gets. And anytime you have doubt or you're going through something hard, keep saying that mantra, universe, show me how good it gets. Okay, I have so many ideas for this episode. Episode 14, and 14 is such a lucky number to me. It's my angel number for my dad's mom, and whenever I'm giving readings, I will get that as a sign to know that someone's grandma is stepping forward. So, just know all of your grandmas are here with us in spirit. They're always with us. The grandpas are even saying, don't forget about me. So just know that all of your ancestors actually do step forward for these readings, and somehow the universe will put it onto your Spotify, your Apple, your YouTube. Maybe I'm on your TikTok For You page or your Instagram, Facebook. We all are meant to meet so that we could be in this beautiful community together. Thank you for joining the Tricia Heals community. I also wanted to give you a special offer before I start the episode that I have a new promo code section when you book a channeled reading. So if you're looking for any advice from your angels, maybe this podcast gives you a collective message, but your angels would love for you to get to hear what they have to say right in the moment. It will be spot on, it will make sense. And even if something doesn't make sense in the moment, like one time when I had a psychic reading, the person channeling was saying that my uncle was running. He was so excited to run, and I didn't get it. And my mom was on the other side of the door trying to listen, and she was thinking, Trisha, that's your uncle who was in a wheelchair. And he was with my dad saying that he can run, he can walk, he's so excited and he's running. And I just didn't get that because I didn't put it together. But that's a perfect example. When you hang up, I'm sure all the pieces will come together. You might talk about it with your family, and things will just start to make sense. And that phrase makes sense. In my head, I just heard them say make dollars. They want us to make money. So if you have any business ideas or anything that is exciting and you want to have a fresh start, go for it. And when I said business ideas, this is something I'm starting today. I was just about to tell you that all of my listeners will have a special discount code. So if you would like to have a one-on-one psychic reading or a one-on-one mediumship reading, please add on the booking page in my Calendly, which is down below, the discount code more time. Also, there's a place where you can write any info. Just say that you found me from the podcast. I love figuring out how everyone is finding me, and honestly, it is different every single time. So thank you so much. Maybe you're listening to this because you had a psychic reading. I am just so grateful that you trust me with your angel team, and they truly had us cross paths for a reason. Even if you're my family, friends, anyone listening to this, I just love you so much. I'm so happy that you're here. And let's get started. This episode is fun, lighthearted, and exciting. I'm so excited to talk about this topic. And just know my grandma is right by my side for this. All of your grandmas are here. And they even just made my wrist crack. I hope that that was picked up on the mic. But to me, that is arthritis. And what I'm hearing is any angels that you have that have crossed over, if they had any pain, like I mentioned, my uncle was in a wheelchair, couldn't walk. Just know they don't have any pain or any ailments, any limiting factors on the other side. Their soul, what I'm hearing, is free. They have no pain. And I think that message is important for at least one of you, but probably everyone listening to this. If you've ever questioned, is my loved one okay? Are they healthy? Are they happy? The answer is yes. and their soul is on a soul journey just like us, there isn't pain like that. They don't have a body to have aches and pain. If they had any symptoms while they were here, including arthritis, I have all the grandparents surrounding me right now. They are telling you that they can shake your hand. They have no arthritis, no pain, and they're even laughing, saying they don't need their aches to predict the weather. Maybe when they were here, they would say, "Oh, it's about to rain." But now they're laughing, saying they just are in tune with what's going on with the earth, and they're laughing, saying they don't even need aches and pains to figure out what the weather is. This collective energy is just so fun. They're making me giggle and smile. I hope if you're driving, walking, or maybe you're just around the house right now, that you can find enjoyment too and just relax because life is not as serious as we're all making it. Maybe you are rushing somewhere right now while driving and you're listening to this podcast, or maybe you have a whole to do list and your calendar is booked, you're busy. But the message coming through, and this is for me too, I'm learning how to be so present. And if you listen to my past episode, number 13, about my rebirth in Costa Rica, you would know I spent a lot of time and now I'm integrating what I learned on my root chakra and really being grounded, being in the moment. And I had a client this week. She was so, so, so sweet and fun and such a bright energy. What I really loved is that she was laughing with me saying she sees online and she hears people saying, go stand outside in the grass barefoot. I am the first one to say, if you listen to one of my episodes in the beginning, I shared a story where I was standing in the grass barefoot and I felt something on my foot. I couldn't place what I felt. I never felt it before. And in slow motion, I looked down and a worm was crawling across my foot. And I'm laughing now. I was screaming on the front lawn, wailing around. It totally skeeved me out. And then the second time I was brave. I went back out there a few months later. I stood in the grass and I was looking, and there was this plant that was like pokey, like a pokey pine. And I was squinting at it, and then all of a sudden I felt as if I stepped on one of those pieces of the plant. And I felt such a pain I've never felt before. And when I looked down, a yellow jacket was stinging me and it was stuck in my toe. Anyway, when she said that, I didn't tell that whole story, but I was laughing with her because I was thinking, yes, I get it. I get it that when someone says, just go outside barefoot, you feel like it might not solve all of your issues. And I'm here to validate that for you. I also just saw on my recording it said 222, which is to open your heart and trust the journey you're on. And this is also a huge theme throughout my week is limiting beliefs. And I have already been barefoot this week and I'm not letting the bee or the worm stop me in the future. I really do need to ground, and I bet all of you actually need to connect with Mother Earth, and that's your journey. Maybe right now, the thought of standing outside barefoot, it's still a little bit chilly out. Maybe that's not appealing, but I hope this summer and especially during the spring, we're transitioning. I hope that you find time to connect, however it is, maybe touch a tree, a plant, a leaf, whatever you feel drawn to, just go with it. We should stop and smell the roses, is what I just heard. But literally, we should stop and just look at little details. And that brings me to something I thought about today. I was thanking one of my really good friends. We have such great conversations, and it honestly is changing my life hearing the advice from my friend. And what I was getting is that right now it's like, for me at least, I only can talk from my own experience, but it's like I'm a scientist and everything is under a microscope. I'm seeing people in a different way. I'm just observing the world and how things are working around me. And what I was saying is that we can't do anything about it. All we can do is observe. When we try and insert ourselves into someone else's dynamic or their craziness, their drama, their chaos, or if they're happy, we can't change anything. They are making decisions for themselves. And I just saw my sign for my uncle, so that is another topic. My uncle, I have told a lot of you during sessions, if it comes up, that my uncle did commit suicide. And I think people don't talk about it enough. That life is so hard, and I just saw his birthday go across my screen. This is the second uncle this episode to step forward, and I even said step, and the first one was in a wheelchair. So just know that they truly talk through the person channeling, and the messages are so important that my uncle, who Couldn't walk is stepping forward. My other uncle, who we always keep his name and his spirit alive. I love that his birthday just went across my screen. So I would like to take this moment and say that when things are going on, you can't change someone, but you can be there and support them. And I had a different client this week. I won't get into details, but the message was really coming forward that we have to take care of ourselves, and that will be a ripple effect to the people that we love. So, for example, a message that came through is that when the plane is about to take off, they always, and I know right now in 2026, maybe you're listening to this in the future, but it is March 2026, and there's a lot of news about the airports and planes, so this is probably coming through at the right time because we're all seeing this on the news. What they say is during an emergency, put the oxygen on yourself first and then help the people that need help near you. If that's a family member, a child, they say put it on yourself and then put the oxygen on someone else, because in an emergency, if you put the oxygen on the person next to you, you won't be able to take care of yourself. And that is the message that my client needed to hear, and I bet a lot of you need to hear, that you have to fill your own cup first. And even, I don't know if you guys can feel the energy just shifted from being all giggly and happy, giddy, and now they're so serious. They really want us to listen to this message. Our angels, the grandparents, are not laughing anymore. They're saying you have to take care of yourself, because there's only so much that the other side can do. We all have free will. You can insert yourself into other people's drama, their chaos. Maybe they're just at a different frequency than you, and they can truly bring you down, make or break you. But you have all the power to not let that happen. And that's what I'm learning, is that I can only control me, focus on my own life. I feel like I've always known this. I'm just really practicing it now. Okay, your angels are definitely saying, everyone just take a deep breath, even if you bring your shoulders up. And when you exhale, drop your shoulders. Maybe your back will crack. You can even twist your head if that's accessible to you right now. Look to the left and the right. They really want us to just be in the moment. I want the energy to go back to the exciting, giddy, laughing energy, because they are being so serious. They're saying you only have this lifetime right now, and they want us to be happy. I bet a lot of people right now, maybe this is you, you're going through something where you are struggling with the dynamics of people around you. Maybe there's some type of energy lingering and you're having a hard time getting their energy away from you or moving on to the next step on your journey. And that's okay. We are on this roller coaster of life. The only way off of the roller coaster is when we are done here and our soul moves on to the other side. If you're having a hard time, they're showing when you're on a roller coaster and feel your stomach drop. That's okay. You are still moving, the roller coaster is still going. And they want us to have fun. They want us to be able to put our hands up and enjoy the roller coaster, feel the air on our face. And I'm even being brought to, there's a theme park on Long Island called Adventureland, and the Ladybug ride. And it's for little kids, but it's a roller coaster. They're saying it doesn't have to be a scary roller coaster. You can be on a little kid, beautiful ladybug ride. And I think they still have it. I haven't been there in so long. Obviously, I don't ride the little kid ride, but that's also another message that we have to find the beauty in things, and we can go back in time. I am leading us to the huge topic that I'll be talking about is time travel. I have been time traveling, and this is perfect that they're bringing my attention to the ladybug ride when I was a little kid. But let me finish their thought on that. Red is grounding. They really want us to ground, and it doesn't have to be standing outside barefoot. Yes, that is 100% the right step, no pun intended, in the right direction. I think grounding is just such a powerful tool, especially when you ask the earth to take anything that isn't serving you and connect. Maybe put your hands onto the earth, however you can, to feel connected. We are floating and moving. Gravity is literally holding us all together onto earth. So, by you grounding, by you telling the earth, I'm intentionally standing here right now with my eyes closed and meditating, where I'm listening to the birds. I'm keeping my eyes open, but I'm looking around, seeing the trees and different things in nature. That is the best way to ground. And I am with my client that was laughing. I feel her on that because I did struggle two different times. But think about all the times I haven't struggled. I love being barefoot. I am a beach girl. I love going out into nature. And I'm just so excited that this is the first episode during spring because I'm even hearing right now in my head, there's no birds right now chirping, but I can hear the birds chirping and just how alive everything feels. Plants are starting to sprout. I think that's the right way to say it. I do not garden and I should start, but that's the message coming through is everything is coming out of hibernation. We spent the winter being able to rest and maybe you had to shed a lot during the year of the snake. This is the fire horse. We are taking off. And they're even saying this is like a horse show. Get ready to show off all of the hard work that you have been doing, and everything will just fall into place how it's meant to. Your angels have no doubt with you that everything is about to work out how you want it to. The free will is very important. Okay, for a little context on the title that I've been time traveling, I think I've always been doing this, but now I have specific examples and I keep seeing it happening throughout the past few days. I only talked about this topic with my friend on Saturday. Today is Tuesday night, so I have a lot of examples but for this episode, I'll tell you a few really special stories. The first one I'll tell you happened later in the day. Today is Tuesday. So, Tuesday evening, I realized that I already knew what was about to come today. So, let me bring you back. I'll set the scene. It was October, and I started my reading journey about a year ago today. I started reading books for the first time in my whole life. And I didn't get to read Reminders of Him in October, and I knew that the movie was coming out. I kept seeing the coming attractions. I got tickets to see another book from Colleen Hoover. I got the tickets to go with my boyfriend at the time, now my ex. But what happened was, it was October. I thought we were walking in to see Reminders of Him. I could picture the trailer in my head. I was walking in fully expecting to see that movie. Then we were sitting there and the coming attractions were on, and I saw Reminders of Him playing before the movie started, and in my chest, I felt confused and I felt something was going on. I just wasn't at the right place at the right time, and I was confused why they were playing the coming attraction for the movie that I was about to watch. So, let me set the scene. I looked at my phone to figure out what was going on, and it said a different title, but I could have sworn in October that I was about to watch Reminders of Him at this movie theater, which months later I went to the same movie theater. It was probably the same exact number theater that I was sitting in. But when I looked at my phone, the ticket had a different name on it. I would have bet money that it said Reminders of Him. So then I was confused. What movie were we about to see? It was a different Colleen Hoover book, Regretting You. Totally different. Loved the movie. I loved watching that movie in October. Post breakup, I went with a bunch of women in my family. We took up a whole row and we saw The Housemaid. I was able to read that book before I went, and that was the first book that I went and I saw the movie after reading it. So that was fun. That was totally different, but I saw The Housemaid in January. Then after that movie, I read the next book, which was Reminders of Him. I totally recommend it if any of you are interested in a book recommendation. Super easy, quick read. And it is spiritual. There are a lot of different things. Even in the movie, there were little angel numbers that I kept seeing on the taxi. It said 555. The house said 1212, and that caught my attention every time. There were so many spiritual synchronicities. So I definitely recommend the movie. 10 out of 10. And especially after reading the book, it was really good. But in January, I went to see The Housemaid and I texted my best friend, my girly pop, and I said, you should read the next book that we're all going to see this movie when it comes out, Reminders of Him. And even if you don't read it, still come with us to the movie. It will be so much fun. All of us take up the whole row. So tonight, my two besties came with everyone that went, my whole family, and we were at the movies. What I knew was about to happen happened, and I think a lot of us say, oh, deja vu, but it's because time isn't linear. We are living all different versions at the same time. And in October, I was feeling like what was happening today. It's March 25th. I was Ooh, and the time right now is 1, 2, 3, 4 a.m., 12:34 a.m., which means go time. They're saying go do the things that you want to do in the moment. And that could even mean that you want to do something. I had to prepare by reading the book. By me seeing the first movie, I was excited to read the book because I knew I was about to see the other movie, and I messaged my friend also telling her about it. Everything was set in action way before today, if that makes sense. Anyway, super cool because I'm definitely time traveling. My time is not linear. I am knowing things before they happen. It's just really cool. And then I have another story I can't wait to share about how today, when I woke up, Tuesday morning, I woke up and I was able to time travel back 6 years. So let me finish this movie story. It gets better. I'm thinking you're like, how could it get better? My dad, he's in spirit. He is so funny. My two best friends are also psychics, and my mom is sitting next to me. She's a psychic. I have the psychic besties circle. So all of us were there with my other family members, all of my sisters, except my other sister who doesn't live where I am right now, was 8 hours away, and she was also at Regal watching a movie at the same exact time as us. That was a side note. I was in the movie theater. My two worlds were colliding. My psychic besties were meeting my sisters. And at the end of the movie, we were all outside of the theater talking, and my sister squinted her eyes. I didn't know who she saw. It just looked like shadows in the hallway walking towards us, and she said, "My brother." And I looked and I was so confused. My dad's son was walking towards us at this movie theater, and he was with a friend seeing a different movie. And one by one, all my sisters said, "My brother, that's my brother, that's my brother." And we were hugging him. My dad somehow put all of us in one theater. We took up a whole row. And then in the theater right next to us, my brother was there, and that is just a perfect example of a synchronicity. What are the odds? There are so many movie times, and the fact that we didn't communicate with each other, but every single person in my family, even someone 8 hours away, happened to be at the movies at the same time. I was able to hug my brother, and it just made me so excited that my dad works overtime. I don't know how he does it, but we were meant to hug my brother and see him tonight. My friends witnessed the whole thing, and they love connecting with my dad. My one friend, Natalia, she is so cool. Let me read the text that she said. When she connected with my dad while we were talking about it, she said that my dad said, "You should meet my son too." And that's exactly what happened. My dad is just so cool, and all of your angels are so cool as well. Once you look for the synchronicities, the magic, the signs, you will just see that there's things you can't explain, but magic will just happen around you. We walked out at the same time that he was walking into his theater and had this huge family reunion. It was just so magical. And I'm really grateful for all my angels that somehow all of this just happens. I'm grateful for the universe. And I can't wait for you guys to tell me stories about how there's magic around you. Always feel free to comment on one of my posts or even DM me. You can comment on this podcast episode, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're listening to this. Leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. Okay, now jumping backwards. So we're time traveling backwards to Tuesday morning. I woke up and I had such a beautiful dream. To give you some context, I studied abroad in Italy. I studied the art of yoga and meditation when I was in college, and I lived in Florence. It was the most magical experience, which now that I'm saying this, another synchronicity. I have a name for my future son. When I walked into the theater, it was my two best friends and then me behind. And the movie, I can't even make this up. The movie was all about Tuscany on the coming attractions. We only saw one coming attraction, and then it was our movie that was starting. Divine timing. I walk in, and on the screen, they said, "It's time to marry." And they said the name of my future son. My friend in front of me turned around and I was like, "Did you just hear that?" We were geeking out about it because what are the odds? It is just so magical. I can't wait for a few years from now to listen back to these episodes and really see how all of these signs are right in front of us. I will have a son with that name, and they said it right as I walked into the theater. So cool. Okay, back to Italy. which I can't wait to go see that movie about Italy. I love the culture, the people. And when I was living in Italy, my godson was born here in New York. I was 18 years old, away from my family, and I had such FOMO. I had so much fun the whole trip. And then the last 2 weeks, I was in Italy after I almost said my son, my godson was born. And that was really hard for me not to be home when there was such a huge life event. I was excited that it was his birthday 6 hours in Italy before because he was a planned C-section. And I have one picture at midnight. I took a picture on Snapchat and I wrote his name and I said it's his birthday. And that was exciting that time. We're talking about time travel, but I was literally celebrating his birthday before it was even his date of birth in the US. That's besides the point. I missed his birth. I was so upset. And then honestly, the last 2 weeks, I just kept thinking, I really want to go home. I want to meet this precious little baby. Fast forward 6 years, almost seven, I think. Oh my gosh, time flies. But fast forward, now we're in 2026. I woke up today and my dream brought me back to the year that he was born. And this is healing something else. There's another story where my sister was telling me not to get her other baby sick. She thought I had the flu, but it was really my appendix. So all of this is up in the air right now. I've been talking about it and debriefing and letting things go and figuring out how to handle different things that have hurt me in the past. So these two different things are colliding in my dream. I had such FOMO, I missed out on the birth of my godson. Also, the other thing about my sister not wanting me to get her baby sick. I felt in this dream, and it's not a dream, it felt so real. I literally time traveled backwards to 2019, and my nephew was a few minutes old. It felt like a hospital, but it wasn't. It was where my sister lived when she had her other kids. And it was so magical because I was able to meet my godson minutes after he was born. He was so precious. And then my sister said, "Don't touch him," which is what happened when she thought I was sick with the other baby years before this happened. And I didn't feel any judgment or get upset. My soul just felt so happy. And I didn't touch him, but I gave him Reiki while I was meeting my precious godson. Minutes after he was born, I was giving his soul Reiki. And I'm not sure how this works because now that I gave him Reiki right after he was born, it's 2026. But because time isn't linear, I really think that somehow I just gave his soul Reiki to help him for the rest of his life. I don't know how to explain it. I am just a psychic medium girly pop that's trying to figure it all out. And I'm here to tell you these stories because I want you to just start thinking on your own and experiencing things that aren't talked about. Because I bet there's a time when you had a dream and it felt so real. And I hope that you can picture that for what I'm talking about now. I woke up and I felt like I was the first one to meet him seconds after he was born. And truly, I healed that part of me. I don't have FOMO anymore. I met him. I felt like I just met him. And yeah, I was one of the first people to meet him. And I definitely just time traveled backwards. Okay, the next story happened a few days before this happened, which, see, I'm even like going out of order because time is just moving. So I'll jump back to Saturday. I was doing a meditation, my friend was leading, and I saw and heard such an angelic sound that I have heard before while connecting with my future kids. And I saw a future version of me. She was just so beautiful. She felt so light and she was so strong. She was holding all three of my kids. I was holding my kids. It was me. She gave me. So me in the future gave the present version of me a hug, and as she hugged me, she disappeared into my soul. So I am learning that I have the highest version of me. I already met her. She's so beautiful and strong and makes life look so easy. She was doing things so light on her feet and holding these three kids and just so happy. And now that part of me is inside of me. I have connected with the future version of me and truly time traveled and was brought to the future to see how happy my family is. And I'm just really excited to have the journey to lead me up to what I already saw because as a psychic, I realize I'm always time traveling. Every time I have a session with someone, they're showing me the highest version of your life and of you. Again, everyone has free will, and I never try to convince anyone to do anything. I'm just telling you what spirit wants you to hear. They want you to see your potential. And I realized after Saturday that I time travel all the time. I know things that are about to happen. People say it's deja vu, maybe you feel like you're reliving something. It's because we're constantly going through different versions at the same time. I feel like I could talk about this forever because it's so fascinating. And again, we're just these scientists looking at all of the things going on around us and collecting data, here to observe and experience and really be on the soul journey. Your soul chose to be here right now with all the people surrounding you. Maybe you still are looking, which I was about to say, looking for the right people. Tell the universe, bring me my soul family. Tell the universe exactly what you want. Talk as if it's already happening because, again, we're moving through this time warp. It's like a different time. I guess the best way is to say it's not linear. You can tune in and see the highest version of yourself or meditate and heal versions of you before, like I did. I had severe FOMO, and now I feel like I was the first person to meet my godson. Right when I said that, I paused and my screen said 1717. So, of course, I Googled it for you guys, and it says it signifies new beginnings, spiritual awakening. This is definitely a message for anyone that is curious and wants to put their toes in the water for your spiritual awakening. It also says independence, guidance from your guardian angels to manifest your highest potential. So, see another synchronicity. Right when I was saying, I can connect and see your highest potential, you all can do that too, and you're on the right path. You clicked on this episode because you are curious, and I'm so happy to have you in this community. There are just so many opportunities to grow every single day, even every minute of the day. As we transition into spring, don't forget to take care of yourself. Maybe start doing some spring cleaning. Start small. Pick maybe a bookshelf or a drawer that you don't use and start just throwing things out. Refresh and clean your space because when we get rid of things, maybe people that aren't serving us in our life, it truly brings the opportunity to have the most powerful connections. Insert into your life. And I just want to validate you are all on the right path. You are where you're meant to be right now, and you're only going up from here. The roller coaster is still going. I'm so happy that you're still here, happy, healthy, and alive. I hope that you have the best day, the best week, the best month, the best year, and the best life. I am Tricia Heals. I'm so happy that you're here. I can't wait to meet you virtually or maybe at an event that I host in person. I did just have an event locally on Long Island. Such a beautiful turnout. I'm so excited that the community is growing. If I met you there, thank you so much for sharing your beautiful energy. It was a Reiki sound bath with such a wonderful yoga teacher, acupuncturist. She does sound healing. Her name is Marguerite, and I can't wait to keep working with her in the future. And also just connecting with so many people in the spiritual community. And again, if you're curious, let's talk. Email me. If none of the times on my calendar, I have a Calendly link below. If none of them work, just email me at tricia.heals1@gmail.com. And I can't wait to connect. Let me know your availability and we can find a time. My Instagram is tricia.heals, so definitely follow me over there. I am about to hit an angel number 555. Also, I do want to say that it's so fun when I take screenshots and I look back. I'll see, like on TikTok, I had a few likes, and now I'm, I think, into 300K likes total. And it's just so fun seeing progress. So, this is your sign to also track your progress because you'll realize how fast that you'll grow at no matter what it is. Any of your dreams can become your reality. They're saying that when you manifest, truly believe everything that you're putting into the world and be very, very specific. Okay, I could talk to you guys forever. I love you so much. I am excited for you to follow along this journey. Definitely email me or DM me if you have any questions. My name is Tricia Heals, and you're listening to your Psychic Bestie Hotline. Love you, besties. Bye. Mwah.